Hey, what's up, geeks? Welcome to the crib. Usually I record my videos outside because I do have roommates, and I just think it's unfair for me to ask them to stay in their rooms or, to do anything just because I'm recording a video. And also like the sunlight that I get outside. So we'll see if this becomes a routine thing. I'm right now at the house to myself. And also I recorded this video earlier today, but it was just way too windy, man. Part of me wanted to just keep that video as it was, but I was like, you know what? I love the following that I've been getting. I love the support that I've been getting. I want to make sure I put out quality videos for you guys, all right? So this video is going to be things that you should know before signing a contract as a remote software developer. Now, the reason that I'm even creating this video is because there's a lot of things that I didn't take into consideration, I didn't even think about prior to actually signing the contract. So hopefully, I know for a fact that this will be beneficial to those of you who are software engineers who are considering working remotely. And honestly, I think remote work is going to be the future anyways. So these are a few things that you need to make sure that you touch base on before you actually sign that contract. All right. So the first thing you want to actually cover, and this is before you even speak to anybody, you want to have a good idea of what your living expenses are. Meaning that if the obvious, you want to have your rent covered. All right? You want to make sure your utilities are covered. Now, after that, you need to make sure that you can take care of your eating expenses, and then your everyday. Sometimes you take snacks. You may want to go out on a date. You may be in a relationship. You may have to you may take your girl on a date. You may do things involved within a relationship. Or you just may want to go do some things with the boys every now and then. You need to make sure that that's covered within your contract. Also, you got to keep in mind that they don't take care of your medical or your dental. So let's say that you signed a contract for about, say you work for a company and then you expect to get back, before taxes, you would make $5,000. But then you have to throw in medical and dental. So then that's going to throw it down to probably like $4,000. And then you get taxed by the state and the government. That could bring it down to $3,000 or even beneath $3,000. Now, because you're working remotely, you have to take away all those taxes. This isn't a day-to-day job. You don't want to think to yourself, oh, I don't want to take advantage of this company. I got paid $2,500 every 2 weeks. So let me just go up to $3,000. No, there's a lot of other things that you need to take into consideration, like medical, like dental, like all those other things that I actually brought up. So make sure you actually dig into that and you have a good idea of what that is. Now, after you got your living expenses, you want to know, is this contract going to be a flat rate contract or hourly contract? Now, if you can help it, I would say don't ever go flat rate. I've done flat rate. The reason you don't want to go flat rate is because you open up the door to be taken advantage of. Now, this is what I mean. Now, let's say you have a 3-month contract and it says for $25,000. And obviously the numbers look juicy. Now, you get for these flat rate contracts, they have these milestones. So say for the first milestone is the front end. You complete the front end of the application. That's all taken care of. Now, after you complete the front end of the application, the next is the API implementation. Now, this is where things can get tricky. Now, you're working as a contract developer. Are you working with another contract developer who also is dependable, and then that's basically going to finish this API in a timely manner? Or are you working with a developer that works for the company that you're contracted through? Now, I'm going to tell you, it's usually a bad idea to sign a contract and work with a developer that works within the company. The reason being, if that developer could do what you could do, there's no need to have you. Now you're thinking, okay, maybe if they just divide, maybe what the idea is to divide the workload and allow this developer to actually have time for the API. I'm a developer, developers know developers, and a lot of guys that you work with are lazy. And I've worked with developers who are supposed to who had 2 months to build this API. And keep in mind you, the API is not as much work as the front end of the application. There's a lot of logic that you have to do in front end. The API is usually you're connecting your API to the database, and then you're just querying for information. There's a few situations where you're going to manipulate the data on the post, but you're just getting the information from the database. You're creating a simple query between two tables and getting the information that you need. I was in a situation where a developer didn't finish the API and 2 months had went by. You know, and the API honestly still isn't done for one of the applications I'm working for. Sorry about that. See, that's one of the cons of actually doing a video at home. You have people that come to your front door. But as I was saying, there's a developer who still hasn't completed the API and 2 months went by. So because of that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, every month, okay, the contract is $2,500. It's gonna be 25 grand the entire contract, and then every month I'm supposed to make X amount of dollars. Now, let's say it takes him so long that instead of getting paid your second month, you now have to wait 2 months to get paid. And then let's say it's a 3-month contract, and they say, oh, it goes into 5 months. Oh wow, that 25 grand can get small really quick. So what you should think when you're taking a flat rate contract, there's a few things you need to ask. You need to say, okay, what if the developer? You need to ask the guy this before you sign that contract. How will I be compensated if your developer does not complete the API in a timely manner? And explain like, hey, you know, I want the API supposed to be done at this time. If it's not done at this time, will I be compensated a fee for that? And then also when you have a flat rate, a lot of features, people will add features to the application. So you might have signed a contract for 10 screens, and then they may need 5 more screens. Okay, you need to ask that within your negotiation process. Okay, how will I be compensated for additional screens? You know, what about the additional functionality? How will we go about that? You never do work that you weren't paid for. And you also don't even get in an argument. And some people say, well, okay, how about if you do this in this time frame, we'll pay you this amount. No, pay me, and then just disappear. And then when they pay you, you come back and you go back to a professional manner. But people will definitely take advantage of you if you allow them to. Now, that was actually the third point, the design, the workflow changes. So hopefully that's clear. If there's anything that, any other question that you guys have that I may have left out, or if you have any kind of experience working as a remote developer and you feel like anybody could benefit from that, please leave a comment. Because like I said, working remotely is definitely the future for engineers, and there's a lot of things that I didn't think of, and there's gonna be a lot of things that other engineers aren't aware of as well. You know, so like, comment, subscribe, check out the website GeekMODE.tech. Check out my courses. I'm sure they are beneficial, especially if you're a beginner to the game. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.